to a new episode of Journey to Your University Life, the podcast where we explain university and explore university life, student experience, and inspiring stories to help you to be successful in your journey and your university journey ahead. Today we're having a special guest. She is one of the professors in our university, and she came all the way from United States to Oman. Miss Judy, welcome.
Thank you, Al-Qasim. I'm really happy to be here today.
We all happy and appreciate to be our guest today. So, Miss Judy, in the first, what inspired you to be a professor?
Well, I started teaching at a university way back in the year 2000, so long ago. But I started my journey as a professor or an instructor at a university in China. And I went there because I was young and I wanted to travel and I wanted to see the world. And so I thought this is a good way to do that. And I'll go and teach for a few years and then I will do a real job after that. And I got there and I really enjoyed teaching. I enjoyed getting to know my students and watching them go from being children in high school to being young adults. And I really liked that experience for myself and for them. And so I went from there back to America and I got my master's degree in teaching English as a second language. And since then I've been teaching university, usually first year, students all over the world, in Turkey, in UAE, in Dubai, back in America for a little bit where I taught mostly Saudi students. So that was quite interesting. And then I've been here in Oman for over 6 years. This is my 7th year at CPS.
That's incredible. I think you gained a lot of skills from here.
Yes, many.
And we're moving to the next question,
Okay.
Judy. How would you describe teaching experience at the university?
Here at Sultan Qaboos University, I love it so much. Like I said, I've taught in many universities around the world. And I have to say, truly, honestly, that my Omani students are the most respectful, polite, hardworking students that I've had the pleasure and privilege to teach. I really enjoy being here every day. You guys make me laugh, and we have a lot of fun together. It's really easy to teach, and I've really enjoyed this experience. That's why I keep coming back every year.
Wow, that's incredible for you as a teacher and for the student. They are proud for someone like you. Third question, what skills do you think students should develop before joining the university?
Well, there's a lot of skills that are important for students. Of course, you want to have the academic skills, so reading, writing, speaking, your math skills, your history, knowledge, all of that your teachers teach you, of course. And most students come to university with a really good background in the education. But other things I think that we don't often think about are the soft skills, things like time management, how to be a motivated learner. So how to say, I need to do this, and I will do that by, I need to come to class on time and bring my homework and, have my pen, my blue pen, and my paper, and all of these things that sometimes students don't come to university with those skills. Other skills too are how to be okay when things are hard. University is hard, yeah? And you're away from your family a lot of time. And so you need to have some skills of how to help yourself when times are difficult. Maybe that's going for a walk or reading a book or calling your best friend. Having those skills and strategies for when life gets difficult is really important.
So you're saying that having the skills to handle the life experience, that is the main thing to to develop.
I think so.
All right. So we're having the fourth question. What are some common challenges that face the new students in the SQU?
Well, like I was saying, for a lot of students, it's not the academic work. SQU students are very intelligent. You're the best of your towns and your villages in your high schools, right? So the academic work is easy. It's making new friends. It's being in a new environment. It's maybe being in a new city for a lot of students. Like Al-Qasim, I know that you've come from a long way, and now here in Muscat, that can be quite difficult for students to be away from your families for the first time, to be living not with your mom and dad and brothers and sisters, but with other boys who you don't know. That can be quite challenging. So I think those are the hard parts for new students that I observe. And so again, having those skills, having those supports for how to handle that stress and newness is really, really important. And thankfully, there's a lot of things here at SQU to help with that.
Yeah, I think that SQU is trying to help us,
Mm-hmm.
and we are ignoring it. That's why
That's true. Yes.
That's why some people get overstressed.
Exactly.
The fifth question is, how do you see the differences between the university life in the United States
Mhm.
and in Oman?
That's a difficult question to answer because they're incredibly different, just because our cultures are very different. The way Americans go to university, how you choose your university, how you choose what you study is very different from Oman. So that's a big difference that I see. Another big difference is just in the actual culture of America and what university students in America are expected, the ways that they behave versus the way Omanis behave. But when you take away all of those kind of outside bits, the inside is quite very much the same. First year students in America are learning a new campus, they're making new friends, they're going to classes that are kind of a basic level class, right? So your basic English, your basic math, your basic computer skills classes, maybe some basic science classes. You're having to do homework and projects and exams. So in the core, it's the same. It's kind of the outside bits that are a bit different, but in the end, you're having a very similar experience.
Yeah, that's the main idea of teaching.
Exactly.
So we hear that you love diving.
I do.
How did that passion start?
It started when I lived in China. My husband and I were going to Thailand for a holiday because that's a cool place to go. And my husband really, really, really wanted to learn to scuba dive. And I said, no, I don't want to do this. It's very scary. And he said, no, do it. I said, okay. So I love my husband and I wanted to make him happy. I said, I will try. And I tried it and I really enjoyed it. And so since then, I've been learning more and more diving skills. I've taken many courses. I've now what's called a dive master, which is actually a professional diver. I could work as a dive guide. And I've been diving in all over the world, here in the Arabian Peninsula, the Gulf areas, in Thailand, in Indonesia, in America, in South America, all over the world. It's amazing and I love it. And it's one of the reasons I love living in Oman. It's because we have such beautiful beaches and water and underwater life. So if you want to, you should all learn how to scuba dive because the Damaniyats is one of the best dive sites on the planet.
We're
And
going
it's
to do our
beautiful.
best.
Please do.
So you said that you are here for 6 years,
Mm-hmm.
and this is the 7th year.
Mm-hmm.
That's a long time.
Very long time.
Of course, you have memorable moments in your life, in your SQU life to be
Yes,
specific.
yes.
So can you tell us one of the memorable moments?
I've had a lot. Most of my most memorable moments are with students. like I said, every day you guys make me laugh. We have fun. It's very unusual for me to leave class and feel like, oh, the kids today just, they weren't doing it. But I think one of my most memorable as a teacher moments was actually just last year. It's an activity many of you will do very soon. The students were writing about their portfolio for their midterm reflection. So they're having to write about what they did well and what they didn't do well. And this was a student who I could tell he was having a hard time. He wasn't turning in his work all the time. He was always sitting at the back of the class, very quiet. And, I've talked to him a few times. But in his written, he wrote about how he really wanted to be a good student, but was scared that he wasn't as good as the other students in the class. And he wasn't sure why he was chosen to come to Sultan Qaboos University, because he didn't feel good enough. So we talked after that. It was a really opening moment for me to see this is not a student who is lazy or doesn't care. This is a student who's having some problems. And so we talked, and we had a long talk about why you're here and what you can do and how you can improve. And from that moment on, he became a whole new student. He was in class on time every day. He was doing his work. He was participating in class. And it really made me realize, and we talked about this at the end of the semester, that, from a teacher's perspective, I kind of see a group of 20 students, right? 18 to 20 faces. But behind each of those, there's something happening. And you all have your own thoughts and feelings, and remembering that just because a student maybe isn't showing that they're being the best student doesn't mean they're not a good student, doesn't mean they're not trying, and that I need to also work harder to get to know my students individually. So for me, that was a really big moment as a teacher. And so I'm really pleased that I work with students who are able to talk about things like this.
I don't blame you that you remember that, because you motivated someone like his level. He was dead level.
Yes.
And he went from dead level to the top level.
Yes. So, and he also taught me. So that's why teaching is such a good profession.
He feel comfortable with you.
I hope so. Yes.
The last question: what's your advice for the high school students, and they want to join the SQU?
My advice would be, well, you probably have better advice than me because you did it. But from where I see is do your best at high school. Yeah. Get those high scores so that you can get to come to SQU and get to have the major that you want. But then also don't forget to develop the other parts of your life. Learn to, go play football a few times a week with your friends. Go to the movies. Go drive around in the desert or up the mountains, or learn how to scuba dive. Those parts are also really important. So to just be what we call a well-rounded person, so not just one thing, but have many things, and also enjoy high school. Right?
Yeah. Thank you, Judy.
Thank you.
I think that's the end of our podcast.
Excellent.
We're very happy to have someone like you in our podcast. Thank you very much for watching, and see you in the next episode.
Bye.